Hi guys, I'm back today with a video, and I apologize that you're not going to see my face, at least at this moment right now. You will see some previously recorded things before I had a reaction to a foundation that I was trying out, which I will not be using again. I was going to try and wear it a few more different times, a few different ways, and I'm not going to be able to do that because unfortunately my face broke out in a really gnarly rash. And so here we are behind the lens, hiding from public eye, because your girl's face is not looking fresh. Anyway, I wanted to swatch all of my Pat McGrath lipsticks that I have. I have swatched some of my Pat McGrath collection in the past, but since Pat McGrath was just named a dame, I wanted to really commemorate that moment by swatching as many of the lipsticks that I have of her so you guys can check them out and possibly scoop them up to show Mother your support. So I'm gonna lip swatch and arm swatch these for you guys and then give you my final thoughts at the very end.
Yeah.
attempt to get them all on my arm. Maybe I'll do 12 up here and 12 down here because I have 24 to swatch for you guys. So the very first shade is called Valletta. And this is kind of a gray-toned, cool pink shade. This very much reminds me of Celebrity Skin from Jeffree Star. I would really like to do a comparison video for you guys at some point if that is something that interests you, so that we can maybe find some dupes to shades that are in his collection in case you are no longer supporting him. Next shade is called Skin Sane. Actually it looks extremely close to Valletta, maybe slightly tiny bit deeper, and it is more shiny. I don't know, actually it looks very, very similar to me, just slightly deeper. Hopefully you guys are able to see that. Next shade is called La Beja. I might be pronouncing that wrong, I'm really sorry. This is just a really nice kind of gray toned pinkish orangish nude shade. The next shade is called Peep Show. Again, kind of in that gray tone pink kind of range. Called Donatella. And and that's another gray tone pink, but definitely just more true gray toned. Shade is called Full Fantasy. Clearly I have a type. This is also another gray toned pink shade, though this is a little bit more dusty rose gray toned. Next shade is called Nude Romantique. And that is almost like a kind of orange toned pink with a little bit of gold shimmer in it. The shade is called Naked Kiss. I'm gonna apologize now, you guys. I'm not used to having my camera facing this direction. I actually can't stand it because now I can't see my swatches as I'm doing them. So they look really jank. But this is another kind of gray toned pink shade. It is a little bit iridescent as well, but definitely still in that same vein. Next shade is called Christy. And that's a gray toned mauve. Next shade is called 1995. That was a great year, in my opinion. And that's like a deep gray mauve. Called Omi. And that's kind of like a gray berry toned shade. Really pretty. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Androgyny from Jeffree Star. Called Lady Stardust. It's just kind of like a shimmery pink shade. The shade is called Fembot. That's another kind of mauve-y shade, a little bit more berry toned mauve. Next shade is called Realness. And that's kind of a dusty rose shade, just slightly deeper. Reminds me of some of the shades that are up here. The shade is called Skin Flicks. And this is another shimmery pink shade. Kind of similar to the one up here as well. Maybe slightly more of a red undertone than Lady Stardust. This is the shade Candy Flip. And that is like a pink petal rose shade. The shade is called Pro FOMO. And that is similar to the shade that's next to it, but more purple toned. Well, it's purpley pink. This one is called Sorry Not Sorry. Love the name of it. And that is a berry toned shade. Shade Lust Angeles. And this is a gray toned pink brown shade. The shade Modern Woman. And that's a gray toned purple shade. Shade Venus and Furs. And that's a brown toned purple shade. It's Flesh 3. And that's a brownish reddish berry shade. Shade Lavish. Really similar to the shade right before it, but less red. The last shade that I have is called Divine Brown. Just a really beautiful kind of purplish reddish undertone brown shade. And that is all of the lipsticks I have from Pat McGrath. So I just want to take a second to talk about these swatches a little bit. So some things I want to note is that there are a lot of shades that look very similar, but the formulations themselves are extremely different. So there's kind of a satin-ish formulation, then there's like a powder formulation, and then there's like a kind of like a shimmery metallic, but not quite metallic formulation as well. Of those, my two favorite formulas would probably be the actual satin and the powder formulation. I don't think she specifically calls it a powder formulation, but that's what they remind me of when they're on the mouth. So I just wanted to tell you guys about that a little bit. The other thing I wanted to briefly touch on is that occasionally you may get a lipstick that has kind of like, hopefully you guys can see it from there. I have some white fuzz on my lipstick, but that's not actually fuzz. That's actually wax bloom. So when your lipsticks ship, you occasionally get them looking like that, and that's not anything to be worried about. I have talked with their customer service team, and they've assured me that it is safe to use. It's just because of the fluctuating temperatures that the lipsticks are shipped through. So that's nothing dangerous. In fact, if you use it, you'll notice it just disappears. Pat McGrath is some of my absolute favorite lipstick. They recently have had a really great sale. I think it's still going on, where lipsticks are $12 each. A lot of them. Not all of them, but a lot of them are $12 each. And she was recently just named a dame, and I think that is so cool, and I'm really happy for her, and I wish her all of the very best. She's worked really hard, and I think she's done a great job. I can't wait to see what she's going to put out in 2021. Anyway, I do hope that these swatches were helpful for you guys. I apologize I can't put my face on here. I hope that it will be healed up in the next couple of days so I can get back to actually talking to you, because this is awkward. If this was helpful, make sure you leave a comment down below, like this video, subscribe, and ring the bell for future updates, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.